Hey everyone, it's Philippe and Ty with the Gizmo Doctor, and today we're going to be talking about USB 3.1 Type-C.
We're going to be going into the history behind USB 3.1 and how we got here, as well as some new features that 3.1 can offer you.
And we're going to be taking a step back even before USB to kind of see what it replaced, and now what USB Type-C is replacing. So it'll be a nice look back into history. If you want to skip that and want to just get straight to the USB Type-C info, just click on this annotation right here, and that will take you there. Otherwise, just keep on watching. All right, so back in time before USB, there was a whole mess of different wires, different connectors, different power supplies to devices from hosts, and different communication protocols. Anywhere from, you had your RS-232 or COM port, SCSI, SCSI, DB25 and DB9, even as late as FireWire in the 90s. But eventually, a group of companies, a group of 7 companies, 4 of which are still around, got together and decided enough of this mess of wires and cords. We just need just one cord for pretty much every peripheral you could ever need, ever want. And they got together and formed the USB Implementers Forum. The 7 companies that originally founded it, 3 of which are gone. The ones that are left are IBM, Intel, NEC, and Microsoft. And it ended up being Ajay Bhatt from Intel who came up with the finalized design for what would become USB Type 1.
So USB 1.0, otherwise known as Universal Serial Bus, was released in January of 1996, and it had a data transfer speed of 1.5 megabits per second, which at its time was pretty fast considering everything else before it was a lot slower than that, considering serial and DB25 and things of that nature. It did have a lot of issues though, a lot of glitches, and it didn't really make it to the market with a lot of the products that the manufacturers tried to push out. And in August 1998, there was USB 1.1 released, and it had a data transfer speed of 12 megabits per second and a power transfer of 100 milliamps, and it was better than anything else out at the time.
That was until April of 2000 when USB released USB Revision 2. Had a data transfer rate of 480 megabits a second, which was a 40-fold increase, and power delivery of 2.5 volts over 1.8 amps. This was enough to power all kinds of devices, from digital cameras to game controllers on computers to even disk drives and CD burners. Also in 2004, they added the ability to boot a computer from a USB stick. All these features combined added to USB gaining massive market share and appearing all over the place in new types of devices throughout the early 2000s.
And going into the late 2000s, on November 28th of 2008, USB 3.0 was finally released, and it had a data transfer speed of 5 gigabits per second, which was crazy at the time. It had a power transfer rate of 5 volts at 1.8 amps. The data transfer speed was a 10-fold increase over the previous USB revision. So USB 3.0 had some added functionality with the likes of HDMI and VGA converting from a USB 3.0 adapter, but it's nowhere near the added functionality of USB 3.1.
USB 3.1 came out in July of 2013, had a data transfer rate of 10 gigabits a second, and could power devices at 20 volts at 5 amps.
USB Type-C and USB 3.1 are 2 distinct projects. One is a USB Type-C port, which is basically the form factor of the cable, and the other is the actual data transfer protocol used in USB Type-C. USB Type-C and 3.1 allows you to use a couple different alternate modes. A couple of those modes being DisplayPort, HDMI, Thunderbolt, and MHL.
So as far as the makeup of the USB Type-C cable, it's 24 pins, reversible, so you can't plug it in the wrong way. It's got Yeah, it's got a 4-pair power ground pair and a 4-pair super speed data bus with 2-pair differential for USB 2.0 speed transfers and 2 sideband pairs with one, I guess you could call it a configuration wire to, so it knows which way it's oriented in the device, that essentially does nothing. And they pack all that into that tiny little plug that fits in the bottom of your phone.
So earlier on in the video, we talked about the USB Implementers Forum. The last remaining survivors in the forum are HP, Intel, LSI, Microsoft, NEC, and Ericsson, which used to be ST Ericsson, now it's just Ericsson because they didn't like the ST.
So USB Type-C has one really unique feature in its bidirectional power flow. Let's say that you have 2 phones at 50%, you can get all of the power from one device into the other, having this phone at 100%. It's pretty cool. I've never heard of that in any device or technology before, so it's a pretty neat added feature. Kind of goes along with USB's adding functionality over time with each iteration. They're kind of sticking with that, it seems.
So there's a new type of technology that Qualcomm has developed. It's called Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0 and 3.0. And there are actually some Google phones that don't particularly work very well with Qualcomm's technology, which is causing some issues with the Google Nexus 6P, which Philippe has, the 5X, and the Google Pixel.
Now, Google also has its own kind of competing type of quick charge. I couldn't actually find a defined name for that anywhere, but it is a rapid charge technology similar to the Qualcomm version. Let's just call it Google's Quick Charge.
The fast charge.
Yeah, it does charge pretty quickly. I would say it would charge my phone from 0 to 100 in right about an hour, like really fast. Yeah. I would say it would charge my phone from 0 to 100 in pretty quick, right about an hour.
So the new development of the quick charge scenario, the Qualcomm quick charge, and the new cables that are being released for the Google phones and all these different USB Type-C phones, there is a problem with the Google phones if you're using a different cable. However, as long as you make sure the adapter has the same voltage as the required Google adapters, you'll be fine. Your phone won't be destroyed. That's good news. But you want to make sure that that voltage is the same. If your amperage is any different, it won't particularly make a huge difference. So you're okay as long as you check the voltage.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions to where some Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 devices are okay to use with Google devices. For example, got here this Aukey brand charger with a Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. And a Unitech USB Type-C cable. And I've been using these in combination, car charger and cable, and I have a Nexus 6P and I've had no problems whatsoever. I think, after today I might go back to using my stock USB-C cable that came with the phone and just plug it into the USB charge only socket just to be on the safe side. But yeah, like I said, with Aukey brand and Unitech cable, no issues.
So according to a Google representative on a website that I could not remember the link to, the Google Nexus 6P does technically have a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, which allows the phone to take Qualcomm Quick Charge, technically. So if you have a Google Nexus 6P, you technically can get Quick Charge on your phone. Just be careful with the type of cables and adapters you use. You want to make sure it's within the standards. We'll actually provide a list for you guys in the description of all the acceptable cables for you to use.
So in combination with USB Type-C is the new Thunderbolt 3 protocol that Apple has been touting. And it's essentially kind of a meshing of the Lightning Bolt and USB protocols in that they'll be interchangeable from now on. A Thunderbolt 3 cable can act as a USB-C cable, and a USB-C cable can act as a Thunderbolt cable. So that will be good to see the end of these, oh, do you have an Apple charger or an Android charger days. It'll be nice to be done with that nonsense. So yeah, USB-C and Thunderbolt 3, here we come. Well, alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. If you liked the video, hit the little like button down in the corner there, or the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. This has been the Gizmo Doctor. Check out our website, gizmodr.com, and our YouTube channel, of course. You're already here. Why not check out our other videos?
I'm assuming this is where a video is.
Yeah. Just boom.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and leave out of the video, guys. Hope you liked it. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hasta luego.
Peace.
Back in time before USB.
And so back in time before USB.